Welcome, welcome to my lovely IHP community and the 5D Collective. To those who tuned in to our episode from today, you might hear some of what we were talking about, but for those who won't, you won't notice. The love, peace, and joy of divine feminine, your empowered body here, and divine masculine, your empowered mind. And I am a 5D mystic, spiritual, self-help, personal development, mindful, living, loving person, mentor, content creator, and podcast host, even a shaman, even a prophet. And when you look into all of these words, for those of us who are intuitive and know Anima Mundi, we are bringing it all in because we don't need to go too much in depth on the details. And that's really because an empowered feminine feels first. So I feel with the clarity of that which is the truth, which is neutrality and duality. Why? Well, because again, what gives peace and joy is integration of the brain and anchored in ventral energy from our previous episode. Okay, so the lovely attachment trauma educators that I've learned from are all continuing to tell me the same stuff, which is why when I look at the Hierophant and lovers and I see those red eyes, I'm able to say, well, is it something? Is it not? Since I am a mystic, I'm an Akashic record reader, I'm a Reiki master, and I am a downloader and channeler, I know that yes, for my lovely 5D collective, that's why we had our 5D Mystic Stories episode of the day, and that type of content, you can expect it to be in our tiers once YouTube allows tiers. And if you want, you can subscribe to our lovely audio podcast on Spotify and Spotify for Creators and a number more. And for also video exercises of mindfulness practices with the inner growth mindset, and that which I bring to you one-to-one mentorship or in future masterclass. Sign up, email, and the workshops, retreats. Okay, so personal development, spiritual development is for a spiritual self-agent. That's what I am. We talked about that. We have inner peace with fear and love last night. The 5D collective can see red eyes and know it's not Lucifer or demons. That we have shamans for the comedians. Who are the comedians? They are the ones who are not healed. Their unseen inner child comes out of the woodwork and their shadow is completely not being tended to because they don't know how to navigate their nervous system, which is what instead we do. So we know how to be our own shaman, and as well as look to those who we will resonate with. Not look up, not look down. Okay, so you are your one and only divine feminine, divine masculine. You don't get tested by anyone because you are your one and only heart, and you don't have it blocked. So I'm not an avoidant and I'm not an anxious, or I'm not a person who has avoidant, ambivalent, or disorganized attachment categories. I'm a securely attached category. And so Maria learned about the one and the ones and the no ones, and I didn't do tragedy. So lovers don't have tragedy. Death do part, sickness and in health, for better for worse, for richer or poorer. Teenage boyfriend didn't believe in God, and I said, okay, I won't be proving it, and I knew why he didn't, okay, because I'll recognize a comedian a mile away. And a comedian will not want to be around a shaman for the self, or a mystic mentor who is also, again, a content creator who will tell you how no empowered feminine and that which is the pure energy of the feminine, if empowered, does not destroy her children with any of fear-mongering stuff. The sustainer, the destroyer, and the creator is what you are to yourself. You are that, and a mentor supports. It's a bonus, you to be yourself if you want to create resiliency with the one and only you, because your integrated brain is the first step, bilateral, vertical, overall to your heart, and to you being able to actually commit to the promise of, I will say I do, because I know that I will take care of my physical health, moderation, my emotional health. I will share my vulnerability, not with a shadow, okay? I am a person who has a child that is scared and loving just like you. And I will not present to you my actual bad habits and continue to allow myself to bring forth bad habits which say, oh, monoamory, they know how to love. Monogamous people, they know what true love is. Oh no, polyamory know what the love means. Securely attached people who are non-traumatized know what love means. because I'll have integrity and I'll be able to share with you what I see for our future. And then I'll be able to commit, because I know that we need health, like that mask, in order for us to make all of our dreams come true. Because I got an empowered feminine, I'm my own mother, and I got my own father, my empowered masculine, and that means I've got my left, my masculine, and my right, my feminine. That's how Maria calls them. And I got my star baby, which is me. So the miracle of life with Neil deGrasse, he gives us the brain, or no, he gives us that we won't be born in like a trillion chances. I'll be reborn, but I'm a mystic again, so I know that as a channeler and downloader, and so I have the Akashic records of my own. I'm also an Akashic record reader, but I am grounded in reality. So as Sam Harris points out, I don't need to prove it. For all I know, it could be pretend, fake. No, not really. But again, science is looking into consciousness. So I love to know that mysticism is going to be looked into empirically, and science and spirituality come together. The 5D collective member of IHP, we heal trauma seriously. It starts with us. So we bring forth our own hermit inside, and our hermit mode doesn't have an inner or outer critic. No, we have our wheel. And with our wheel, we have justice. So we give ourselves the neutrality and duality, the state of compassion. I can be mindfully aware that Maria is just as imperfect and flawed as everybody else, but I am flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, and stable. And so I sit within my silence, not with a maladaptive pattern of behavior, and I don't do things that are bad for me. I will have that which is a good conversation. Doesn't have to be great job, bad job, none of that. Again, that's what mentorship supports, is the practice of that mindset. But even on one's own, there's a way that you'll know when you meet those who do this, because they will know that it's not however long it takes for you to be my person. I don't have all the time in the world. I got 24 hours, and actually I have places to be and things to do. Teenage boyfriend and I have our conversations, and health is important. Moderation is important. So is learning things. It's very straightforward when you're a fierce lover already. And that's why it doesn't change. Nobody breaks a 3-year-old that doesn't have a, I'm a piece of shit. The only ones who are afraid to lose people are the same ones who do not have a securely attached 0-1-year-old. I do, which is why this is my promise to myself. I'm my own hierophant and lover. I'm my own divine feminine. As I said, I'm my divine feminine and divine masculine. The divine masculine is an empowered masculine and an empowered feminine. I use words divine doesn't mean your divinity, so let me make sure you understand. It's because of the way masculine, feminine, and divine, but divinity, we don't embody it. We embody the energetic imprint of, well, I mean, that's why there's no words to describe the essence of love in life. And inner peace with fear and love. My body. Good for being afraid, because you keep me safe from the animal kingdom. And when I was a pilgrim and with the animals, I needed all of those ways my nervous system will keep me safe. But I am with my human animal kingdom. I'm not going to dress up like an animal. I'm not going to not eat meat. Any moderate person will know how to be in their physical body and happy, and not need to dress themselves up. Because again, a true lover loves who they are and says, I'm Maria, use your human name. And we don't perform for love. So the pilgrim gets to travel, learns, grows, adapts, studies. When it is instead the shadow part, the dark part of this pilgrim, it will be aloof, non-committal, and flaky. And the animal, when it is in its light, vital, elemental, live, dances, when instead in the darkness of it, pent-up emotions, lashing out, savagery. Okay, so people don't write down notes, please. What I love about the animal one, when it caught my eye, is the capacity for us to speak that which we see, and the capacity to know that our ancestors were pilgrims in the very way, but we are no longer in that time. So people who don't enjoy the present, they continue to talk like we need to go to the past, as if our younger generation or stuff is going wrong. And I mean, really, I didn't think and realize people go against science and technology. But let me put that to the side, and let's finish with our lovely counterparts. Okay, so for yourself, you're a counterpart. If you're the self of you and you don't treat yourself like a little piece of shit, and you can do this. And that's why compassion, it means that you don't say I'm bad, I'm good. It means I have good habits, bad habits. I am a creature of habit. I am of the animal kingdom. I navigate my integrated brain because you can contain sensations, images, behaviors, affects, meanings. I can recognize my self agency. And like my 3-year-old, when she comes up with my mom, it's my 3-year-old. It's snap and done. It's my trauma time. I'm learning to work with, I don't know. I need to figure it out, but I'm working with it. Manny Diego Sid, okay? So nobody is going to be doing the low self-esteem stuff, which is not know how to actually apologize, one, which means also being authentic, two, which means, again, knowing that the death do part, sickness and in health, you can only create when you know how to handle when destruction, or if destruction comes, with sustainability. They make a pair, the trio, because you can't actually be balanced if you don't know common sense, okay? So moderation is common sense. And then we have those who will still continue to worry, and that's okay, because I worry too. But that's the part of why divine feminine and divine masculine counterparts, they will be concerned together, but they will give each other that which is peace when there's fear, and joy when there's maybe sadness, or just any time really, and love always. And so if I and you say we do, then that means we want each other to live as long as possible. No one who is living their healthy self-worth life wants to be dead. The people who feel that their body weighs them down have not embodied their ventral energy, nor have they embodied seeing the beauty that their inner child can be. And that's for those who don't, they're not going to be here. And so we'll be back with these themes. Again, the love, peace, and joy, divine feminine and divine masculine counterparts. You do that inner world a good job of, we are all imperfect and flawed, but we're all star babies. And then when we meet the brothers and sisters who are clowns, we know how Cusco and Pacha always work. And so you leave it alone. But the ones who say they do for real, they know integrity. So they won't be ashamed of themselves. They also don't hide themselves to themselves, and they don't hide themselves to others. We know how to talk about things. We know how to support each other. And that's the journey of once you are that securely attached, non-traumatized person with resiliency, with mindfulness and mindset. It's fun. We enjoy it because it's not life is no sunshines and rainbows bullshit in your distress drama, okay? It is, yes, life doesn't hit me hard. No, if it did, I would be on the floor, which it doesn't, and I'm not a boxer. So please, the figure of speech is unnecessary. But if we want to use it in an empowering way, adversity, where I have a roof right now. Okay, so when you're sharing a life in a moment where the world does need people to be at their best, you see what I'm saying? So the empowered feminine, masculine of mysticism, spirituality, and or mindful doesn't waste time, because we don't have time to waste. You actively know in 24 hours you hope to contribute, even if it's a speck, to that which is the whole. And two people don't contribute to each other if they don't bring joy and peace and love and meaning. I'm not going to be afraid to lose you, but not because I'm afraid as a 0-1-year-old that is afraid to lose you. No, I'm not going to be afraid that you have no common sense. I'm not going to fear for your well-being. And when we do have fears, we again support each other by having real talk, not bullshit talk. Bullshit talk is annoying to the empowered feminines and empowered masculines. So with that, we'll be back as the light goes down. In the meantime, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.